Thanks for joining. Today we're just going to show a quick trick to use in Microsoft's Power Automate, formerly known as Microsoft Flow. What we're going to be doing is using a manually triggered flow where we're selecting a particular value and we're going to be filtering by that value. The reason that we're going to do this is we have a get items action here in Flow, Power Automate, that will bring back list items from a SharePoint list. However, for one thing, that can take a good amount of time for the flow to run. If you've got 10,000 items on that list, first of all, it's going to be limited at 5,000. That is the current cap. And that happens to mimic the SharePoint list view threshold. So there's method to their madness on that with 5,000 rows being returned. But you may want to be using a filter anyway so that you can pull a specific set of items back rather than just the entire list. You also have the option of using limit entries to a particular folder for get items, but today we're going to focus on the show advanced options and we're going to use the filter query. Now what I've done is I've created a drop-down list of options here for internal and external, okay? We have an economics list that I have connected to, and that's what I want to get items from. And the internal and external refers to the cost type field. So in my proposed need here in Power Automate, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be automatically writing rows that come through as internal cost type to a specific finance list that we'll just say our finance department needs for the sake of the exercise. Okay, so we're going to be getting only the items where cost type equals internal. So we're going to go here first, okay, and we're going to look at what this specific cost type field is called, and there's a reason that we do this. The trick to this is you go in as if you're going to edit the field, and then up here in the URL you see exactly what that cost type field is called. The reason I showed you this is because if you have a space in any of your SharePoint name fields, it's going to show as something that is not at all what you expect it to be. Specifically, the space is changed into an underscore x0020 underscore, because that makes perfect sense, does it not? So we're going to keep that. I just did a Control-C on that so that I can enter that. And then we're going to need that later, perhaps in the create item, so that we can populate the update item or the create item here. So that's just a good note that I gave you. But what's great about this is that we have this manually triggered flow here. Once I select filter query here, you'll see I can go here and then dynamic content automatically comes up. Okay, and we're going to ensure that our month equals the value that we are trying to establish, okay? So we're going to set that cost field, okay? This is what the name of the cost field is in the SharePoint list. That's why I've copied it, okay? You're simply going to type that here in this filter query. You're then going to do a space. You're going to do equals, EQ, that's it. You're going to do a single quote. You're going to select month, and you're going to close that single quote. And that is the syntax. The name of the SharePoint field, the exact name that you copied from the address bar up here, you're going to enter that here into the filter query. You're going to do a space, EQ, space, single quote, the dynamic content that matches your input. Okay, if you want to be sure that this is the input, as you can see, there's lots of other options on here. You can call this some crazy name like month zebra. Okay, if I switch to this now and go down here, you can see that this is now changed to month zebra. So I need to take this out of here. I need to replace it with month zebra. Okay, you need to make sure, however, that it is surrounded by those single quotes. If you change that, if you update it, you need to go through, you need to put that single quote back in there. And that's it. Now what's going to happen is this list, this get items, is going to filter by whatever the person selects from their manual trigger. So if you want to copy external rows, rows where the cost type equals external, you'd select external in the manual trigger. If you wanted to select internal, you choose internal here, and then that would automatically set the cost type field when it equals internal will be what the get items list returns. That's it. Good luck.